Hey, everybody. He's hard to label and even harder to put in a box. So you know what we did? We stopped trying. That's right. Welcome to the Bryan Kennedy Show.
All right. Welcome to the Bryan Kennedy Show. This is episode 7, I think. I believe we made it this far. Today's show, I'm going to entitle, how about the sons now have microphones? And that could be dangerous. That should be interesting. Before we get to that, I'm excited to introduce a new, brand new sponsor to the Bryan Kennedy Show. It's going to be Underdog Amplifiers. I love these amplifiers. Underdog Amplifiers brings legendary guitar amp circuits. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, right?
Impressive.
to life inside beautiful handcrafted hardwood cabinets. They use premium components, tubes, vintage voiced. Man, how do you guys say it? A-L-N-I-C-O. Alnico?
What is it again?
Alnico?
Alnico. Yes.
Alnico.
Yes.
Alnico speakers. You guys aware of those? You're aware of those?
I'm done with this. I thought I was going to talk about me before now. This is.
I haven't introduced you.
It's all about Dylan.
Hang on.
It's all about Dylan.
Dylan makes an awesome amp.
He's smart.
You know what? That would be the right way to say it. Premium components, tubes, vintage voice, Alnico. I think I said that right. Speakers to build amplifiers. Sound incredible. Alnico. Perform reliably.
Alnico, didn't he used to be in the publishing business?
He was.
Hey, Bryan, I want you to write a song. This is the best amp in the world.
Because of Underdog, they believe an amplifier ought to be something that you're proud to play and proud to own. Underdog Amplifiers. Everyone loves an Underdog. You can look them up, underdogamplifiers.com. All right, let's get to the show.
Yes.
You guys have already injected yourself into the new sponsor, and I'm sure that Dylan Kennedy would appreciate that. He loves you guys.
So how does this work? Since we're on your podcast, he's going to give us amplifiers.
I'll take two.
I'll just take one.
I'll take two.
So
Thanks,
3
Dylan.
amplifiers in total.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how much trouble
we
we can get into. We've already gotten into trouble. There are some people that I think that I can interview. If you guys caught my last episode, not you two. Some people are watching this, and other people are just listening. So on screen, if you're with me right now, you've got Wil Reid to the left and Langdon Reid to the right. Probably people that we should not give a microphone to. I mean, that's just what I think. I don't know what you guys think.
We'll see.
That's just because you know us.
Well, I have. I've known you since you're kids. Little background. Their dads were 2 of the Statler Brothers. Some people aren't aware that the Statler Brothers weren't all brothers in reality. Yeah, but your dads were Harold and Don Reid. My dad produced the Statler Brothers for more than 20 years. I don't know the exact number. It was over 20 years.
It's more than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, more like 30.
Really, 30? So you guys are younger than me, so you're keeping up better. So I got to watch Wil and Langdon.
1970 to 2002. Okay, that's when Jerry Kennedy.
Yeah, we'll help you as much as we can, bro.
Yeah, man.
Stat man. That's good, Langdon. That's good. That was Langdon offering the stat there.
Stat
30
man.
years.
I thought Statler man.
I got you. Yeah, the Statler threw me off. Stat man.
So
anyway, I got to watch you guys grow up. Your dads got to watch me grow up. So this is a really cool thing. But since I think you guys were old enough to start your own career, we've done a lot of things together. Written songs together, performed together. We had a podcast together. A lot of people don't know about that. Drank a whole lot of coffee together.
We've done more of that.
And I think 1 large jar of peanut butter in Gatlinburg.
We will talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get
because yesterday in my truck thinking about doing this podcast with you, of the stories that we can tell, that was one of the first ones. So that story will be told.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and it's so weird in this podcast, like you're in a different location. But do you need a mint or something, like a little peppermint or something?
We're performing on stage in Pigeon Forge, and there's a scene where Wil and I got pretty close together, and I don't think it was live. It might have been live. I don't remember if it was rehearsal or live, but he looks at me and this dude.
I think it was live.
It was live.
Of course, I had
pulled
a
it out of
on
my
stage.
costume and gave it to you.
You've probably been waiting to do that for probably half the season we were playing. But I want to find out a few things about you guys that maybe I don't even know. Okay, so this podcast, that's what I'm going to be striving for, which I think I know pretty much, but we'll see what I don't know. So I don't know so much. I know a lot about you off stage. I know about you on stage, but I want to know more about husbands, dads, friends. Nobody else is around. We're going to talk about that because I know you guys are gentlemen. So my first question for you is, how old were you when you remember me showing up? And what did you think of me?
It's all about you, isn't it, Bryan?
Are we supposed to tell the truth?
Oh, it's all about Bryan.
Wait a minute. Should I flip a coin to see who goes first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Will's going to go first. Oh boy!
And I'll just fill in whatever
Langdon's got clean up.
Yeah.
So my first memory of you and your brothers, Gordon and Shelby, being in Stanton, Virginia, our hometown, during the 4th of July celebration, the big celebration that our dads did for years. Happy birthday, USA. And again, you were there because your dad was there, your family was there, you know, him being the Jerry Kennedy record producer for Mercury Records, you know, the bigwigs had come to Stanton.
He was the prez of Mercury.
Right.
Yes.
And, you know, you guys were the same age as my older sisters. So, you know, that kept y'all engaged, you know, while you were around.
Certainly. Yeah.
But you being what? 10 years older than me and Langdon, roughly, something like that.
At least.
Yeah, at least. You know, y'all were the dudes, man. Y'all were the big guys. You know, y'all were already tall by then when I first met you when I was a kid. But y'all were the coolest. Y'all were the coolest ever. These cool guys from Nashville that came with their record producer dad. That's my first memory of you. So part of this story will be, and we'll get to it, us reconnecting with you later in life because you were a hit songwriter and we wanted to write songs with you and you opened your door to us and we became really good friends. But that's my first memory of you.
Okay. Langdon, you got one?
That was good.
Yeah,
it was going to be at the 4th of July. Yeah, the same. No, for the most part. But you in particular, you were the Ole Miss football player.
That's right.
You were a beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
You were.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that we had just heard about, you know, Jerry's 3 sons. And then, but that one, he's a standout football player at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. And, you know, at that age, you're like, man, those guys, they're on another level. They got to be tip top shape. And then we saw you and like, whoa, that guy is a big football player.
Well, and so we didn't have any strange people like that in our family that were so tall. You know? So it was like
very normal.
You know, it's like our dad's producer has this Sasquatch son and he plays football. I mean, it's a big deal to us.
Like a circus.
Okay, enough. You know, it's funny. It's funny.
I bet he
say
eats
that.
other people's pizza in the Pizza Hut when they leave.
When they leave, he'll go over to the table and eat it. I bet that's who that guy is.
Still do it. That's funny because I never have thought about what somebody thought about me the first time he met me. So that's really interesting because I wouldn't have thought any of those things. That's interesting. First time I met you guys, I think Will was on a bicycle and we get off the you know, they picked up the families and you call them the big wigs from the hotel and we would go somewhere. And I think we went to Harold's house and Will's there on his bicycle, comes, skids to a stop. And he looks at everybody. And when somebody said like, that's a nice bike, and Will goes, I wanted it and I got it. And then he takes off. That's my first memory of you.
And we know that's true because we've heard you say that before.
Yeah, I've heard that from you before, so I know it's true.
And then when I meet Langdon, it's much later in life after your baseball career. You played baseball for who was it? College?
No, I just played up until high school.
Up to high school. And then I always heard you as a pitcher. And you know I'm such a big fan of baseball that that I wanted.
Baseball and Susie Bogus. Yeah, we got it.
We'll get your stats here in a little bit on your baseball.
Okay,
but seriously, I knew I always heard
you.
I heard you a great pitcher, and we've had a lot of fun.
He was a beast too. Yeah.
But us before all this, let me ask you guys: do you remember? I would say did you ever understand what my dad actually did? This is fun for me. Did you ever understand what he did, or was he just another guy hanging around?
You mean as far as Jerry, the producer
Yeah.
of the Statler Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll say this. Where I was, excuse me, in my life and with my musical knowledge, or shall I say unknowledge at the time, we knew what our dads did. They wrote songs and they performed them and they sang them, and we saw that. But we just knew that when they went to Nashville, they couldn't do anything else unless they had Jerry with them, and he was their producer. So what does a producer do? No, I had no idea then. I'm like, well, y'all know the songs. I've seen y'all sing these songs without him. Why do you need him to be a part of this? To get your song on radio or to get it on the cassette tape? Why do you need him? But so no, that's a good question. But what does a producer do? No, we didn't know that.
Did you have any idea, Will?
Yeah, I think I had a little more idea, because the two things that come to mind from those early in life things is his dad always he's telling me about their story about they knew Jerry from sessions, back in the 60s. But then when he became head of Mercury, and they went to Jerry and said, listen, we're just not getting at Columbia what we need, and we want to be this group in country music, which had never been before. Your dad solely was the guy that said, you know what, I'd love to cut some records on y'all, but I don't have time to find material. And our guys and Dad and Donnie said, not a problem. We got our own material.
We'll do that.
And he just let it happen. Nobody else in Nashville would have let that happen. And
what a great decision.
So of course. So then fast forward to the childhood and the 4th of July years when Mercury and your dad and you guys would come to town, and we'd see you once a year because, y'all were from Nashville. I'm serious. Like, all of that was bigger than life. But I'll never forget the year. I think Jerry Reid was the guest artist for the 4th of July celebration with our dads. And
at 82, I believe.
Yeah. And so I'm sure your dad was there, and Trish, who worked for your dad, was there. But I'll never forget saying something to somebody about wanting, I don't know if it was a Jerry Reid record or something. But then a few days after the 4th, I get a package in the mail full of 8 tracks. Of country artists.
Really?
And I remember, yes. And I remember, and I don't know that was, if it was Mercury related now or not, thinking back on it, but I just remember having an 8-track, I guess that she had put together and sent in a package for me, with different country artists. And one of them was a Jerry Reid 8-track.
Do you have an 8-track player on that bicycle?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you did on that BMX bicycle?
Yeah, cool. I wanted it and I got it.
Yeah.
Talking today with Wil and Langdon Reid. So those of you that can't see it, that was Wil Reid. You guys I may have to say who's who for the people that can't see you. But when you guys were smaller, who was the biggest pain in the rear end to your families? Okay, they're both pointing at each other.
That'd be Langdon. So
you think Langdon was?
So
Will?
Yeah, for sure. So, for sure. So,
confidently says.
For sure.
And move next.
It's
I'm older. I'm wiser. It had to have been him. And but
for sure.
So no, our childhood, being at home with our moms, like when our dads were on the road working and all that. Langdon and I are 2 years apart, so we spent a lot of time together and have always been friends, best friends, brothers, cousins. That's just us. But when we were young, like, we fought all the time. We'd get into we would get mad at each other. I don't even remember over what.
It was just over stupid stuff.
Yeah. We'd just get into it and just be mad as heck at each other.
One of us would storm off.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to tell Mom.
And then about 10 minutes later, we'd be completely out of sorts with each other. 10 minutes later, we'd be begging our moms that we wanted to go to the other one's house. We had to get back together. So
there.
That's been that.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Langdon? You think that's a good assessment?
I agree with all that. Yeah, we did. We got along great, and we fought a lot, but that was who's at fault all the time? And like you said, who knows? We're just stupid stuff we get bent out of shape about.
So
it worked itself out. We're here
how has
today.
that changed? Is it changed? Obviously you don't fight, but how did it ever just come together as far as you guys writing songs and performing together? When did that happen?
Well, it really hasn't changed at all, actually. Yeah, it really hasn't changed. To those who are listening, Will just pushed Langdon off of his chair.
I'm telling that hurt.
And that was Will that said it.
You broke my arm.
Okay, so now we know nothing has changed.
Yeah. So, no. So even into our teenage years, we were always just ate up what our dads did. Watching them from the stage, listening to their music, listening to music that came along long before us that we didn't listen to. When we were smaller. But literally, I tell this story a lot in our music journey. We were 16 and 14 because I could drive and Langdon couldn't drive yet. And I started picking him up on Sunday evening, and we met up with two other guys and started band rehearsals. And that's what we were eat up with. Langdon was a great baseball player, great pitcher. Back to what you said a minute ago, he had scouts looking at him in high school for his left arm, and but we always were just eat up with the music, all of it.
And yes, and that's what to say. It's so nice and easy when you're working with somebody and you're in business with somebody and you're doing what you love with somebody who's on the same page with you. I mean, even if we're like, hey, I love music. Oh, I love music too. Well, I heard the song the other day. It'd be fun to do. Oh, I do. I like that song. So it was never like, hey, I'd like to do this song, and then he was completely against it. Or all of our decisions, even up till now, have been 90% on the same page. You know what I'm saying? And it's
kind of like a marriage, for better or worse. Yes.
Right. Do you guys
on the same page.
Do you guys know how rare that is?
But
you know how rare that is? That's pretty rare for two guys, especially growing up together. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm saying that, because it is. I go back. It really is a nice thing to have happen, and we don't take it for granted. But that's not saying we agree on absolutely everything, because even if I have an idea, he may say, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying," but instead of that, what about this? And it gets tweaked a little bit, and you figure it out. But it's just never been, like I've come and said, "Hey, you know what? I think we ought to, dye our hair purple, and start wearing velvet bell bottoms or something." And he's like, that's just completely ridiculous. It's always been our ideas and opinions and approach have always been very congruent and parallel with going forward. That's nice.
Would you please not say congruent anymore in this podcast? One thing to add to that. We don't really talk about this, but we'll tell you because you'll understand. Langdon and I have the ability to walk away from our differences. If it's important, we certainly would take it up with each other. But if we don't deem it important, we just let it go.
Where do you think you learned that from? Or did it just come to you natural?
Where do we learn that from?
Did you see your dads do that? Did you see that happen with your fathers?
Not necessarily.
No, I would say it's more of our mothers.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that moves right into a conversation. We get so much from our dads, from our personalities to our humor to talent to our passion, all those things. You can see where we get that from our dads, but we get so much good from our mothers too, and how they approach life and dealt with it, and the wisdom that they had. There is so much there that, I even laugh with my older brother at times, and I'm like, man. And again, our dads were gone a lot, and that's just the nature of the business. That's what they signed up for, and all of us families knew that. But there are times when looking back, and I even laugh with my brother. I'm like, man, mom really did. She was the main one who raised us, and it's okay. Because when Dad was there, he was there. When he was home, he was there.
And we give them a lot of credit for that too, because they did still came home to be little league ball coaches, and there for the biggest events, and there for July, and there for December to be with family.
Graduations,
unlike a lot of artists, that was really important to them. But yeah, we spent a lot of time with our moms. Me and Langdon talk about that a lot. You know, we go on trips with our moms when our dads were working in the summertime, go to the beach for the weekend or something,
And what you have to understand here is he's got 4 older sisters. I've got 1 older brother. So again, he and I we're the babies of the 2 family. We're the last ones there. Everybody else was either in college or married or ahead of us. So we were still living in the house. Our dads are still working, and a lot of times it's just me and my mom, and it's just he and his mom. So we take vacations, just the 4 of us. So we spent a lot of time together with our moms, and learned so much from that.
Love that.
Being with them.
Yes. I wanted to learn stuff about you guys I didn't know. I would have never thought that you would have got that from that. So listen, we're going to move into songwriting. We're going to move into talk more about your fathers, more about you guys. But before we do that, it's one of my favorite parts of these podcasts where I pick a line from a song that I wish I'd have written. I call it "Want to Hear a Great Line." So I'm going to ask you guys if you could each share the same one. Do you have a song? So let me intro that right now. Even though I'm a songwriter, every now and then I'll hear a song and one line will just jump out and stop me. And I think to myself, what a great line. I'm Bryan Kennedy. Welcome to Want to Hear a Great Line? So I'm asking you guys, do you have a particular song? The way I judge it for myself is I hear it and it affects me so much that I immediately kind of go, I wish I'd have written that. You guys have something that comes to mind? Will, you want to go first?
And is this any song or a Statler song or
any song?
Any.
Yeah, it certainly can be a Statler Brothers song or one you wrote.
I can go unless you want to go first.
Go ahead.
So Will's going to go first, so people that aren't watching.
I just have to react from what came to mind first when you said that. And yes, you're right. As a writer, you've got favorite songs. You hear songs from 30, 40 years ago. I'm with you. When you hear it, you know it. And you're like, man, I wish I'd have written that. Or I wish I'd have thought of that. And that's how much it touches you. And there's lots of those. But this was so special, and you'll appreciate this. In our early years, 25 years ago, writing songs, I'll tell the whole story. Dad and I were out one day riding around in the truck, running errands or whatever. So we're down outside of Stanton, and there's an old rundown house off of the main road. And, it looked like a Casper's house. The trees are growing up. Nobody lives there anymore. It's completely, gone or whatever. And Dad looks over at that house and says, see that house? I said, yeah. He said, I used to date a girl that lived there. I was like, you are kidding me. He's like, oh, no. He said, back in high school, he was a teenager or whatever. He said, I can't even believe that. He said, but yeah, I'd go pick her up at that house. I mean, it was just it just hit me like a ton of bricks, like
how many times had you ridden by this house?
Oh, exactly. How many times? So the more I thought about it, I just couldn't get away from it. I'm like, there's a song there, that there's a house that you used to go to that you don't go to anymore. And the reasons that you went there to start with, and now that it's all over with and it's all gone and it's just a memory, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I sat down at the piano. I started writing that song. I was writing his story, right? And Langdon and I, again, did that a lot, too. When we would think about things, we would think of them through the Statler Brothers, or we would think of them through the timeline of the way they wrote songs, So I got a lot of the song written as far as verses and the story of a guy that used to go there and all the things that used to happen to him. And then, but then living in that community, driving by this house your whole life, and all it goes away, it fades away. It's not there anymore. So anyway, I sang what I had to Dad, and he's like, oh, man, that's really good. And I told him why I was writing it. And I said, yeah, but, the chorus is not right. And so he got the expert got in it with me, and we finished the song. So fast forward to we sang it when the Dad and them were going to record an album. We got to pitch it to them. They all agreed to record it, and they did. The Statlers recorded the song. It's called That Haunted Old House that Dad and I wrote.
Great song.
But when you ask about the line, this is what's so cool and a great tie-in that you're going to love. So we got to go to Nashville when they recorded that song in the studio with your dad, Jerry Kennedy, there as producer. And they recorded it, and we had it down, and we were going to lunch. And your dad says in front of me and Dad, he said, "Who wrote that line in the chorus? You can't trust a memory when it's had too much time." And that was Dad's line, of course. And you know, again, we all know as a co-write, we all know that great songs are the ones you can't remember who wrote which line, and that's fine. But in this instant, it was just awesome that it hit him like that. But it was right. Dad's line, "You can't trust a memory when it's had too much time," was just perfect, you know.
Wow.
But I'll never forget it hitting your dad like that and bringing it up to us.
That's awesome. And how many songs had Jerry Kennedy heard?
Oh, of course.
You know, to still, he was not immune to any of that. That's awesome. Great song.
So that's Will. Okay, and that's awesome. That made me wish I would have written it when you said it. Langdon, what about you?
The only difference, if I were telling that story, I would have said, when your dad said, "Who wrote that line?" I'd be like, "That's me.
That was me. I wrote it, Mr. Kennedy."
That's only if Harold wasn't there.
Exactly. Harold, won't you go start the car?
Right.
That was me who wrote that. Oh man, so many good lines. I'll stick with the Statler catalog. We learned everything from songwriting from our dads, and they're great teachers. And we tell the story all the time. When we got into songwriting, just because we were their sons didn't mean that what we wrote was golden to them, or like, yeah, that's great, you know, and they put a sticker on it and go on. They made us go sharpen the pencils, work it out. And always
Awesome.
The test is go to bed on it, come back the next day and sing it to yourself, and see how it hits you. And any bad parts or bad lines of the song will reveal themselves to you the next day. So yeah, and those guys, obviously they made a career, and their passion was nostalgia. Looking back, they were just the kings of that, and writing that and putting the emotion to so many stories. And most of those stories they had to have lived. Dad always said, you know, write what you know. If you've never been to the streets of Paris, don't sit down and try to write about it, you know. So write what you know. And I always took that to heart. And again, storytelling was that was their forte. And so I would say one song, again, that started with a song called "You Can't Go Home," early on in their career. And it's a story about the guy in the song, the narrator, who was raised by his aunt and uncle and his cousin. And then the chorus just goes into looking back, you know, had the best childhood. And the whole thing is you can't go home. And no matter how much you want to, how much you long for those better days, a better time, you just can't do it.
Can't go back.
You can sit there and think about it and daydream and want it all you want, but you can't do it. And he ends up with the talking about his aunt and uncle in that song. And he says the line in there, Roy and Kathleen are the two characters' names. And he said, I'm only proud that you're the ones who's proud of me. And there was something that really hit the circle of life there. And we've all done things in our lives at different times, and we've had other people say, "I'm proud of you." And that means a lot. But when you are proud of the people who are proud of you, and it's people you love, it's people you cherish, and they're close to you. If it's a coach, if it's a family member, a teacher, anybody like that you really respect, and they say they're proud of you, it goes a little deeper. And you're like, you know what? I'm just proud that they're proud of me. And it makes you smile a little deeper. And that line, it always rang true to me, even the first time I heard it when I was younger. And then as I've gotten older, it resonates even a lot.
I love it. I love it. Now the folks can see why I love you guys so much, because you're older than your age as far as your how you see life and what you recognize, and that's why you're great songwriters. So if you want to hear a great line, those are two good ones, and I appreciate you bringing those. Let's get back to the show. All right. Do I need to flip a coin to see who's going to tell me something first? So like so that the other one can't steal something from the other guy, or do you somebody just want to volunteer? Who wants to go first?
You just want me to
Will
go?
or Langdon?
I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Langdon?
I'll go.
See how that is already. All right, Langdon, you're going first.
Okay.
Who is Will when he's not on the stage?
Who is Will when he's not on the stage? Oh, wow, that's good.
I wish you guys were. You're not watching. Will looks like kind of looks like Woody from Toy Story / I'm not sure who the other one is. Maybe John Anderson that just got terrified. Langdon, please help me out here.
I would say that's a good answer right there. Will is a leader. Will has got strong ideas. His first instincts are most usually right and correct. He's an observant person. He reads people well. When you say again, you said who is he off stage? So much about him that you see on stage is off stage. He's very funny, very quick-witted, but yet at the same time, he's not on all the time. As you know, when you put your coat on and your sports jacket, I get very quiet sometimes.
Okay, good enough. That's good enough.
He does.
I have to recharge sometimes.
Yes, that's it.
You guys,
he needs to go be by himself and recharge. That's exactly it.
The audience can see why I
recoil.
like hanging out with you guys, because you're absolutely hilarious and fun.
Yes.
So, Will, I'm going to ask you to reverse it and tell me what Langdon's like when he's not on stage.
Okay, I know this is family friendly, but can I use cuss words to talk about?
No, you can't.
Let me tell you about him. I don't at all. Langdon is generous beyond belief. He's always looking out for everybody around him. Talented at everything that he does. Well spoken. I reminded a minute ago you said something about him, and
I said congruent.
I was getting ready to say,
Family show.
Bryan said this years ago when we were together a lot doing the play, that Langdon was the steel vault, I think, or something like that, because he didn't forget anything. If we needed to know something, we asked Langdon, because he forgets nothing. But caring, kind. He's a leader also, of course. But it just always there. I mean, for sure.
Dependable Langdon.
Yeah, but even more than dependable, and that's why our relationship works so well, because the things that he really likes to do, I don't sometimes, and the things that I'm good at, he doesn't necessarily care about, and so that really helps with our relationship, But as far as I think being a really great human is one way I could sum up Langdon.
Thank you.
I think that
it's
works.
easier for me to put an umbrella on it.
That's nice. Good gracious.
That works.
Hey, let me say this too.
I don't like him, but he's a really great human.
You're into that sort of thing.
Can't stop yourself, can you?
Hey, let me say this too. What makes a good team work is he's right. I do things that he doesn't want to do. He does things that I don't want to do, or he does things that I am not good at. Will is also very good at handling any kind of confrontation or a speed bump or a situation, those things, because whether it's in life or business or wherever, I don't think anybody really wakes up and says, I can't wait to face issues and problems today. Exactly. I mean, just come on.
Right.
So, but they are there, and no matter what you're doing, and I think a lot of us humans will do what we can to avoid that and to walk away from it, or to push it aside or kick that can down the road. And Will does not do that. He goes head on with it, which is a very admirable trait.
Nice.
Well, it is, and it's something that Yeah, that's just another trait of his.
All right.
That is very good.
I like all that. And I think that works. But
You're not going to ask us what we think of you.
No, a little more
you?
fun. I'm going to
Okay.
bring your wives into this one just a little bit. So my question is, what? I think this will be fun. I hope. What will your wives have? What have they accepted? What have they totally accepted that you're never going to be good at?
Are they here?
I don't know. They don't watch podcasts, so you can say whatever you want.
They really don't watch this one. Wait a minute.
What would they say that they just accepted that you're just not going to be good at?
Say the question again.
Well, what have your wives accepted? Like they just come to like, yeah, it's just the way he is that you're just not good at.
No, I'm not good at.
So I can vividly hear in my ear my wife saying, "Are you leaving yet? Don't you have somewhere to go?"
That's what you always want to hear.
Yeah, aren't you going to sing somewhere? Is it time for you to go? But I can't remember what I did.
Does that mean you're not good at leaving?
Oh god!
Oh, can we write that? That's ours. I'm not the
we will.
Publishing.
We will
write
do the
that
publishing.
a little bit of the publishing.
Yeah.
Well, Langdon, what has your wife accepted that you're not good at?
That I'm not good at. No, there's plenty of things that I feel like I'm not good at.
I don't think he understands that we're good at everything. I don't. Didn't you feed that to him before we started?
Wasn't that in the notes?
We gave that to you.
We're completely awesome.
Yeah, I think we're not really good at understanding women sometimes.
Well, that would work. That's it. So y'all are just good at everything. I can't wait to ask your wives when I see them next, and they'll probably have a list.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I really am. I'm trying to think
No,
about
it's that thing. I'm sure when they talk to each other, they could have answered this a lot quicker of what we're really not good at.
Yeah.
But I'm good at everything, Bryan. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not good. I wish I were better. Let me say this. I wish I were better at letting things go that bother me.
Well, she would probably say
I know how
right?
to disguise. I know how to disguise it, but I can't deeply let it go. And I think that was one thing that because she can do that. She's very good at that. And as far as and my son gets that from her, I can see that. My daughter gets it from me. If there's something that bothers us, I'm not even saying like I'm mad at you, but if even there's something that bothers you, it affects my attitude or who I am that day, and she can tell that, because then she can feel like she's walking around eggshells, like if something bothered me. I don't know if he had a bad phone call or something with music or whatever, and I wish I could just say, you know what, that's out of my control, or I'm done with that, and so that would be one thing.
All
Does
right,
that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. So I didn't grow up. Back to you guys, I was thinking of this growing up in your house. I didn't. To me, Harold and Don were the Statler Brothers. Like, I mean, every time I saw them, I was kind of in awe. Like you guys. I just, if it was Dad's office, if it was, seeing them backstage, wherever, we might go watch them perform. I was always in awe of them, and I still am. Like, I'm kind of close to your dad now, Don Langdon, your father. And when I'm around him, I'm still like 12 years old going, holy cow, it's freaking Don Reid, And I was like that with Harold. Harold would intimidate the heck out of me because you could try to be funny around him and he just knock you over. Like everything he said was hilarious. You couldn't out fast him,
witty,
quick him.
He was such
so witty.
a big presence and a big personality.
Oh, for sure.
And he didn't try it.
No, he just was.
It was.
No, he just was. Just his one-liners.
That voice, of course, helped, but
would wear you out. Just so fun to be around. But my question is, when did you guys first realize that your dads were famous? Like, what was that like, or that moment, or that time? Is that something just...
I could tell you, here's something that immediately came to mind. I was in the first grade, and so my first grade teacher, when I had a terrible experience my first grade year. And a lot of it was because she was a fan of the Statlers. And I think she felt that she was closer to my family than she really was. And she would even make jokes and jabs at me in the first grade. How old are you in the first grade? I don't know, whatever that is.
Six, 7.
something.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14.
And she would make jokes about like, oh, look here, I bet you didn't get your homework done last night because you were listening to the Oak Ridge Boys, you know.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't know what that means, you know. Like, why are you? Did I ask for this? I don't know.
Right.
You know, so she kept making all these
7.
country music quartet jokes at 6 and 7 years old. And I felt uncomfortable. And like other kids are looking at me like, why is he getting all the attention? And because my dad was famous. And I'm like, okay, so there's other people out there who really know who he is and are very a fan and fanatic about it. And that really affected me personally at the time. I'm okay. I mean, I'm gonna be all right.
I'm not sure about that,
okay.
but we get talked about that later.
I graduated school. Everything's all right.
Yeah.
But yes, that stuck with me, and I did not. It's kind of be a family joke now because my brother had this same teacher, and he loved her, and I did not. So,
care for her
so much because she made country music jokes at me and singled me out a lot of times in class. It's okay. This is therapy, right? Is that
right? Yeah. Evidently.
No, but I realized then that my dad was very famous, and a lot of people knew who he was, even that old mean first grade teacher.
Yeah.
Well, was your dad famous when your brother was in the first grade, or did
He was, but I wasn't in the first. I wasn't there to know it.
Nobody told him.
What about you, Will? When did that happen for you?
Well, ever since I was 3, Dad told me how famous he was. So, I mean, I knew. Son, I need to share something with you.
Get your paper out and write it on there.
He said, you know Jerry Kennedy? I said, yeah. He said, well, he's my producer.
You said, I don't know what that is.
He said, in Nashville. I said, where's that? He said, well, buddy, don't worry about it. He said, I'm just famous and it's really important. I said, okay. I'm good with it.
So
when I saw those red, white and blue buses roll out of town, I knew it was a pretty big deal. You know, not everybody had those.
Right. That's pretty awesome.
So a lot of what Langdon said, our dads, again, to their credit, worked so hard to stay in Stanton, Virginia, stay in their hometown. And for the most part, the community accepted them for that. Like when they were here, they were just, you know, Harold, Don, Phil, Lou, Jimmy. People just treated them that way. And the 4th of July is the only thing that changed when all the people would roll into town and they realized, you know, they wanted everybody to know they knew who the Statler Brothers were, you know. Yeah. So that kind of changed.
Watch him, everybody. Boy, is squirrely. Also, Jerry Reid. But yeah, people get a little squirrely around.
But no, for the most part, people, you know, treated them like the hometown boys they were because this was their hometown. But I got it more from other kids because they would get it from their parents. And, you know, you know, kids want to pick on you, you know, y'all rich, you know. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not rich. You know, my dad might have been done all right, but I'm not rich, you know. But we dealt with that stuff for years because people don't know. They didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know exactly what to say about it. But they wanted to say something about it. And Langdon's right. I had it with other teachers too. You know, we had so much money. You know, we just, you know, take it down, put it in the dumpster, and burn it. You know, I mean, like, you know, it's amazing. But I'm saying the difference with our story, we weren't in Nashville where there was artists everywhere, or people were connected, and artist families hung out with other artist families. Like that's just not our story. It was small town Stanton, Virginia, and our families.
Yeah,
for the most part, it was all good. But there were those times that you wouldn't do your homework, and then other people were like, your daddy's in country music. You just don't think you have to do your homework, huh? You're like, no, I
didn't say that. Right.
So,
but for the listener that's listening, it's not really normal or consistent for an artist to live outside of Nashville, especially back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and still actually. But the Statler Brothers were always true to their hometown, Stanton, Virginia, and they never moved, and that's pretty rare. So I bet that was weird. And getting back to your dads, and then now you're a little bit older. To jump from that question to this question, what was something, I guess, that your dads taught you without ever telling you? You know what I mean?
That they taught us without ever saying it, right?
Yeah. Something you learned from them without them sitting you down and saying, now here, son, I want you to, this. What did you learn from, I guess, just observing?
Yeah.
Try to, that relates to our relationships or our kids or our wives, that type of thing. I would say
life.
I would say trying to stay out of the way is something that I learned from Dad. Mm-hmm. That not everything has to be said or addressed if you don't think it's harmful to that person, or if you don't think that it leads to something else. To just our dads were always really good at trying to stay, even like musically with us, is trying to stay out of our way. Right advice at the right time, or the right sentiment at the right time, but you don't have to address every detail.
Yeah, amen. Wise.
That's good. Mm-hmm. They were such good businessmen too, and we're saying that from being able to see. You could definitely see how they ran their business on the outside. I mean, looking in, but we saw how they ran their business from the inside as well. Because a lot of times, they'd be on business calls at the house or have meetings, or whatever. We would see a lot of the inside workings of how they ran their business, and they were. We really saw how to be, I think, good businessmen. And if we can pride ourselves on anything, on us too, I feel like we got that from them, and we run a good business, and they know how to treat people right. They'd make those hard decisions in the business to say, you know what, it's not what I want to do, but it's what we should do. So and they would keep each other in check, especially our dads. And I would say that they were probably very much so the primary decision makers of the group. And it was a group, and not the others didn't have a voice or a vote, because they all talked about it.
It was equal, and they all had vote about everything. But they were definitely the leaders.
They were quick to say how they felt about something, and it's tough when, it's always tough when the first guy speaks up, and you think, man, he just said something that I didn't want him to say, but it is the right thing. So going back to doing the right thing in principle. And treating people right, even when it's hard to do, even when people are treating you wrong, and you think, well, in the name of good business, we need to do this. We saw that with them.
And let me say this too, so anybody listening, our dads were human. They weren't perfect. Me and Langdon, we're not perfect. Bryan's not perfect, but it's the trying that makes the difference in us. Mm. You're always trying to do the right thing.
It's about the effort. You're right.
Yeah. My dad would always, he talked about your fathers a lot. Of course, he admired them so much. And, he worked with a lot of different artists, but when it came to your fathers, it was always class. It was always integrity. And he always talked about what good businessmen they were, and knew what they were doing as far as, they were home run hitters in every category. But when they're at home, it's sounding like, I guess more of a question, like, I don't know what it's like for my father to tour. Did you guys were you ever mad or upset or wished it was different, or how'd y'all handle that?
I did. When we were little, Dad and I were such, because again, having 4 older sisters and I was the only boy, Dad and I had a close relationship of being really good friends. So I do remember even little, with going with Mom, taking him to the bus and him loading up the bus and him getting ready to leave, being really upset that he was leaving, but you adjust to it and you grow up and you accept it and you understand it better. Yeah.
There was a time when we all go through those phases of, and that they're getting ready to get on the bus and you get upset about it or whatever. And so I think it was in our family that, then my mom would always take me to get ice cream, and while I was down at the Dairy Queen getting ice cream, Dad would pack his bags and leave. There you go.
There you go.
And it wasn't. it was, after a few of those times getting ice cream, you're like, man, this cone is good. Where's Dad? And then I called after a
as the
while.
bus rides by.
This ice cream smells like bus fumes. What, Dad? So anyway, and I just remember again, my brother making fun of me, like, okay, Mom's gonna get, you and Mom are gonna get ice cream, okay? I'm like, I know what that means. When I come back, Dad's not gonna be here.
Right? Yeah.
Did you ever apply that to your kids, Langdon?
Yeah, they're scared to death to eat ice cream now. They won't even talk about it. Yeah.
They won't even drive by the Dairy Queen.
Right.
Oh, man.
Is there anything that you understand better, or something like I just asked you in a comical way? Is there something that you understand better about your fathers now than you did when you were growing up that you've seen in your own parenting? That's a good question. I like that question.
It is. Hey, I'll say that I'm just going to piggyback a little bit more on what Will was saying, and I think that's one of the tricky things, and this probably goes with any parents, but is knowing that line of being supportive and encouraging and being involved with your kids with whatever they're wanting to do, but also then knowing that line of stop and stay out of the way and let them do it. Mm-hmm. And that's a hard line for, I think, any parent, father or mother, to do with their kids with whatever they're doing. And it's tricky. There's no handbook out there for this, for parenting. If you're going to get a job, you can audition and you have a set of standards that you need and qualifications for it. Not for being a parent. And so little things like that I've always, I don't say struggle with, but that's always something on my mind as far as how much, and we're seeing it now with our boys, especially Jack and Davis, being in the music business, making their own decisions. And I know Will and I, their path right now is so much of a carbon copy of what we were doing at their age. Yeah. And the places they're going, the things they're doing, and all that kind of stuff.
They're just better than we were at 20 and 21.
They are. But he and I laugh at times, it's like, I wanted to say, I don't know if I would do it that way, but
I didn't.
I'm going to let them touch the stove.
I'll let them figure that out. Yeah, exactly.
So you can tell them that the stove is hot. And sometimes when they get ready to reach for it, you pull it back. But other times you're like, you know what, go ahead and burn yourself, because I had to do the same thing. And so that's tough, of being encouraging, but yet staying out of the way. We learned that from our dad.
So also, I think this is relevant, and we are in little different places. So I lost Dad in 2020. So he's been gone for 6 years now. And you're right. So many things in life happen. It's like, so that's why he felt the way he did about that. Or that's why, he and I didn't see eye to eye 20 years ago on that. Like, all those things become clear. But another funny thing that's a difference in our personality that I would have never guessed this in a million years. But my wife is a little OCD, and she's a little much of a control freak. And my dad was a little controlling, because he always thought he was looking out for everybody and be safe. And this is the way you need to do it, and do it this way because this is the safe way and all that. So I've said to her more than once, it's like, this is the name of my book. I married my dad, which is so weird because she'll do something that'll remind me of him. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way, and I'm not doing it that way, So those things become more apparent than they ever did earlier in life.
I totally get that. I totally get that. So let's. I'm going to get to your boys here in a minute, but a couple more questions for you guys. So the show's over. You guys sell your CDs, sell merchandise. Shout out to Brandon. So after all that's over in your home, what I know that writing songs, I know entertaining, all that stuff makes you guys quote unquote happy, but what brings you joy after all of that?
What brings you joy when you come back home after all that?
Yeah, I mean, no fans, no music. What?
It's always the simple things.
It is
always.
Yeah, it is. And I know it sounds.
Go ahead. It'll sound cheesy. You do yours, and then I'll tell mine.
Cheesy, but it's. I don't know how many times with both of my kids. I got a daughter and a son, and that when you come back home, and it's just that relationship and that fellowship that, I don't know, there's been times when I've gotten home at midnight, and it's been so cool that they wanted to wait up for me when I got home. And now with phones, you could say, hey, I'm going to be there in 46 minutes, so we couldn't necessarily do that with our dads then. But it's cool when they would wait up for you, and then we'd get there, and then everybody just hang out into 2:00 in the morning. I don't know. I feel like a lot of joy at our house comes late at night.
That's cool.
And we've always been night out people, but you just hanging out, drinking some chocolate milk, and how was, what'd you do in school, and how was volleyball, and, and just that relational, that relationship that we have together, and communication and talking and all that. Just, I've always been big on, talking and I can tell sometimes my kids will laugh at me too, because I'm always like, hey, what's going on? And I'll ask them, something's bothering you. What's happening? They'll be like, no, everything's fine, and then maybe 2 days later, like, hey, by the way, I just want you to know this has been going on. Me and my girlfriend have been fighting or something. You're like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's what I was trying to get 2 days ago, talk to me. It's okay. So, but anyway, it's just the communication that I enjoy, and just really being able to grow in our relationship with my kids, and wife as well, even as we get older. That's really a joyful thing for me.
By you, Will?
So coming from, country families, Langdon and I both have on both sides of the family, coming from, just church going people from the country, and the Statler Brothers fame never changed any of that for me. It was so dear to Dad. He loved the country. He wasn't a farmer, and he didn't want to own a cow, but I've always been drawn to all that. So even now with my wife and with my kids, I'm always drawn back to the simple things in life, whether it's growing a tomato, or whether it's a cow, or whether it's mowing grass, or whether I just feel like the more aware I am of the way it really works here on this earth,
Design.
Yeah, the design with God, the happier I am to get away from everything else. And that includes the phone, career, all of it. But it just, I don't know. It just, even watching the sunsets, like, it just means something to me.
All right, so I want to get this question in, because this is the one that I thought of first. This was because I like talking about life off the stage, off the field. That's important to me, because a lot of people hear all the stories about, and they're awesome. What we get to do as far as our careers and writing songs, but the off the stage part, the question I wanted, because I loved your dads. I've had so much respect for them. What do you think they would be most proud of you guys for, that has nothing to do with music?
Oh,
I think
that you might feel like you're bragging. I don't mean that. I don't want you to. I ask you to humble yourselves and really try to answer that question.
Let me say this. You made a point earlier, which is really nice, that it's something that I do not think about, is how rare our relationship is between the two of us. I think that is what they're would be most proud of, how rare our relationship is with them, that we went on to live lives like they did, and stayed away from drugs and stayed away from alcohol. Family first. We didn't end up in rehab. That we take care of the people around us just like they did. I think that would be definitely how they would see it. Yeah.
I think just overall the way we live our lives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not what we do, but it's how we do it.
Yeah, because along with the all the advice over the years, they would also always compliment us on something that they hadn't thought about, or compliment us on something that we did that they wanted to point out that they know that they noticed. I guess just this Reid thing, we do it different, but that's just how we do it. Yeah.
I think that's awesome, and I'll say this: knowing your dads as much as I knew them, and I think everything y'all said, they would be so just proud of the guys that because I know you off the stage, I've never not wanted to be around you guys ever. And, we all have people in our lives that were like, we can take them in doses or we can, be around them for a little while, but I can't get enough of you guys. I never, you guys are always, you bring joy, you bring fun, you bring talent, and it's always fun. So that in mind.
Bless you, friend.
Hey, bless you. But can I say something right there also?
No.
So not only when we were kids did we think you were larger than life, and you were a big football star and from Nashville, wherever that was. And then when we connected back in, I guess, the early 2000s, maybe, when we wanted, Langdon and I were trying to build our career, and we wanted to come to Nashville, and we wanted to write with other writers. We'd reached out to you, and you said, absolutely, come over to the house and we'll write something. And we wrote some really good songs with you, by the way. And you can disclose that whenever you want to. But we built a friendship with you that we didn't make. You just opened the door, and we started having some fun together. And then we've done a lot of things over the years. But we feel the exact same way about you. Because when we get with you, it's not a competition, but it's a challenge of who's going to make each other laugh next, and it's so much fun, so much fun.
Well, I'll steal a line from your dad, Will Harold. I think the Statler Brothers, when I would go watch them, they'd be about 2 songs from ending, right, from their set.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting ready. And he would always say, "We're just getting started," and the crowd would go crazy. And I feel like that with you guys all the time. I think we're just getting started. Whatever it is that's coming up next, we're just getting started. Yeah. So it's always fun. All right, so I'm going to do this is going to be kind of get what we call a lightning round. Okay, so this will be interesting with 2 people. No explanations. I don't want a story.
Okay, just
answers.
Reason
why.
Got it. Okay.
I'll decide who's lying.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to go, we'll start Langdon first and Will for the first question. Langdon, you'll be first. Who takes longer to get ready, you or Will?
Me.
Langdon.
Okay. Will, this is a question for you. Who's more likely to forget the lyrics?
Me.
I don't know. Will.
Yeah. Will. So that's hands down. Do you agree with him on who takes longer to get ready? You agree with him?
He said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agreed with that too.
All right, who talks longer after the show? Langdon, who talks longer?
Talks longer?
Yeah.
Me.
On the bus?
Me.
You?
Langdon.
So you both agree so far. Mm-hmm. Who worries more?
He's a great.
Who worries more? I get to go first? Langdon.
Me.
You're really knocking it out of the park here, Langdon, with all these.
Yeah,
who handles
4 for 4?
Who handles criticism best?
It's interesting. We handle it differently.
Yeah.
Who handles it best?
He wants it.
Is that a tie?
He wants an answer.
Is that a tie?
No, it's just we handle it differently. So I'm trying to think. He won't. I handle it longer, and he handles it shorter. I'm trying to back into this question. I just haven't answered who handles it.
What was the question?
Well, I would say who handles it shorter would probably be better. Who handles criticism best?
Now, then I'll go with me.
Then it's him. Then it's Will.
All right, this will be one of my favorites. Yeah. Who's cheaper?
Who's cheaper? Who's cheaper? Wow,
we're both pretty cheap. This is tough.
I know. That's why I wrote it down.
Oh my gosh, who's cheaper? Who's cheaper?
I mean, again, it depends on what,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's life.
Yeah, we talking quantity or quality,
Right.
In life?
Yeah.
Just in
who's
life.
cheaper?
Who's
you go eat, you go buy a guitar, who's cheaper? Who's looking for the bargain more?
Well, like when it comes to eating, I'm cheaper. He cares more about food. So he's like, yeah, give me the $52 steak. And I'm like, I'm just cheese and crackers,
But when it comes to guitars, I'm cheaper. It's like, I haven't mastered the one I've got. So,
right. And then I'm like, I don't know, that's a $4,500 guitar. That's a pretty good deal. I'll take that. I'm just saying. So it depends on what.
At the end of the day, I'm going to say I'm cheaper.
Okay. All right. So who is more like your dad's? Who's more like your father?
Oh, you mean
which one of you is more like your individual dad? Really?
Langdon's more like his dad.
I don't know.
I would say that.
I would almost say that's a tie to me. I would say
it could be.
He's a lot like his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would say that at times, if there's anything that's I don't say confusing, because he has so many qualities and physical qualities of his dad, but there are times when I see so much of his mother in him, and but people, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm just saying.
So you're saying I asked the wrong question? That's what you're saying.
No, I think I won that one.
I think we're on the wrong podcast, but I mean, that's too late for that now.
Here's my favorite, one of my favorites. Who would survive longer without their phone?
Who would survive longer without their phone?
Yeah.
Me.
He would.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
I would have had that the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be more likely to start an argument and claim that they didn't?
I just got to process this.
Yeah.
Who would start an argument and then say they didn't?
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen to us.
Yeah.
That would not happen to us.
If I started an argument, I'm taking full credit for it.
Yeah.
And he is too.
Even if I'm wrong, I'll still take credit for it.
Right.
Okay. Who's a better driver? Who drives better?
Me.
So when y'all do your little car
got a good sense of
episodes,
direction,
it's always Will. Is it Langdon driving? No, Will's driving all the time. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys do your
Yeah,
car?
you're talking about. No, we did those truck times.
Yeah,
Langdon
truck
always
times.
drove.
It was always Langdon driving. Why? If you're the better driver, Will?
Because I ran the camera. I don't know. It was my phone. I don't know. We did it that way.
It was like the first episode. We happened to be in my truck and I was driving, and then the format was set. So.
And I thought my head looked bigger, so I'd rather be in the passenger seat than up close to the camera.
Had to do with the head placement,
right?
More than who was driving.
Exactly.
All right. So Langdon, your son is named Davis. Will, your son is named Jack. Jack and Davis, which one is more likely someday to write a book telling everything about their dad?
I don't think either one of them can write. That we missed that part in their teenage years. That's why they're singing.
One of them can't write, and the other one doesn't care.
Right.
Which one is which?
Yeah. You choose.
Yeah.
Which one is which?
Would write a book about their dad?
Yeah.
To tell all about their dad?
Yeah.
Oh, well, neither one of them.
Neither one of them
would do a tell-all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If you're going to ask stupid questions, we're going to give you stupid answers.
Okay, this goes back to the cheaper. Who's cheaper? But who buys the coffee when you guys are on the road?
The company. We're businessmen.
Uncle Sam pays for it. That's a write-off, baby.
Write-off. We ain't making no money, but it's our write-off.
With butter, pecan, and cream. That's $6 coffee.
Sir.
Okay, so here's the other question. Which one of you like me more?
Langdon.
Oh, gosh. All right, listen. Well, we've lost Langdon. For those of you that can't see, Langdon's gone. That was a fun lightning round. That was fun. I appreciate that.
That was fun.
That was
Thank
good.
you.
I do want to talk about your boys, though. I want to talk about Jack and I want to talk about Davis. And let's say someday they're sitting around and they're telling stories.
Writing a book.
Writing a tell-all book about their dad.
Right.
They're telling stories about you guys. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you guys we've been talking about your fathers. What do you hope they'd say? What would be like the one thing you would really hope they would write? I know that Jack can't write, but
he can't write. What would he tell the interpreter to write? Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So
I think they've already written it, and I'll tell you this, because those guys they're the real deal too.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk to them, when you see them, they are what you see is what you get. And and it's always so nice because there's social media pages every just about every year when it's my birthday and then when it's his birthday, they'll always write a post and say what we mean to them. And I think they've already said it. You can go back and read some of those posts, and it really is nice. I'm thinking, man, it's one thing to say that to you personally, in the truck and and share an intimate time with your son. But it's
but they've really put us on a pedestal, which is
they
nice.
Have. It's so nice,
and we don't think of it that way because we're just really good friends with them.
And I tell you this too, we've got a group thread with the four of us, me and Will and Jack and Davis, and we send silly stuff and goofy pictures, and it's fun. And a lot of times we use it for business. Hey, we just confirmed this date or this leaving time or anything like that. But there's other times when it's when we're feeling led to just share with how we're feeling about each other and say, hey, guys, well, it was a great show tonight. I love looking over and seeing the other three of y'all standing there. What that does to me. Appreciate you guys. Love you. And let's do some more of it.
And the next one will be a thread of Mel Tillis doing the foot joke on the Statler Brothers show.
Foot.
Well, you guys, so the listeners, if the listener doesn't know, we're talking to, and I should have said your names a lot more during the show, but I'm kind of new to the podcast deal. But we're talking to Wil Reid and Langdon Reid, sons of the Statler Brothers. And
yes,
you guys perform around the country as Wilson Fairchild. And
we do.
Yeah.
And they can tell us quickly how they can look you guys up on the internet.
So wilsonfairchild.com obviously is home base. Wilson Fairchild on all social medias. And so we've been doing this duo thing for years. And over the last, 4 or 5 years, we became Gaither recording artists. So we've got 3 albums released through the Gaither Music Group, and they're releasing country records on us so we can do traditional country, but we're also doing some gospel. But that's been our base for years. And then just recently, within the last year, our sons, Jack and Davis Reid, are doing their own thing, recording music that they have written. But we started singing together, doing quartet stuff, and it's really kind of made a big difference in our direction right now, because Langdon and I, obviously, in our ears, we're always led by the Statler Brothers music and being 4-part harmony, right? And but we never wanted we never wanted to create that because we would never be the Statler Brothers. We didn't want to go out and get just 2 people that weren't family. But now that we're singing with our sons and we're able to do a pretty good job and seeing the reaction to the fans of how much they love it, that's amazing. I mean, it's a whole new thing that we couldn't have planned, but it just happened, But we're having a lot of fun doing it.
And you said a minute ago that.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Well,
no, it's okay. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. What? Okay.
Here we are.
No, go ahead.
Where Jay Alexander's ordering food right now. This is it. I was going to say, I went and saw Jack and Davis, I don't know how many years ago when I rode up there to Stanton. That was a long time ago, and they were performing at Quaker State or something like that. I can't remember the place.
That's right.
But I remember particularly loving the bass player.
Right?
No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
It was I was so
no, you are kidding.
I was so I guess the word I was so thrilled, literally, because I didn't know what to expect. You guys, and I don't know how old they were. They were 16, 17. I don't know how old
they were just starting out.
Yeah, literally 16, 17 probably.
And I remember watching them going, kind of look out. These guys, they're having fun, and they were real loose, and they weren't nervous at all, and they did a great job. And then the next time I see them live is with you guys. I think it was earlier this year, or was it last year? I can't remember.
It was earlier this year in Georgia.
Earlier this year, and when you guys all started singing together, I was like, oh my gosh, that y'all sound great, and it's a great show. So people, how much are you calling it the Statler Experience? Is that what you're calling this? And are you
those shows we are
like that?
We are.
So where do people go to get that information? They get it on your website or Jack and Davis website or what?
Yeah, for right now, it's either through wilsonfairchild.com or Wilson Fairchild Facebook, and then Jack and Davis Reid music.com or just Jack and Davis?
Jack and Davis Reid music.com.
And I mean, but their social media base is growing really fast. They've figured that out. They're trying to get us to do more of it so we can understand it. We
They're
just don't
really
care.
good at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but no, we're booking these Statler Experience shows, and a bunch that we've got booked right now are very successful. You know, there's lots of people. You know, we stayed away from the Statler name for lots of reasons all these years. That we weren't a quartet. Langdon and I are trying to establish what we do, and we have established what we do. You know, even as Wilson Fairchild, we just were on the Grand Ole Opry here a couple weeks ago, which we're thrilled to be, you know, included in that and sing music off of our new album. But these Statler Experience shows, as right now, you know, Jack and Davis come out and they'll do their hour as a duet with their band. Then Langdon and I will come out and do our 45 minutes or to an hour with our band. And then the boys join us for like 6 Statler Brothers songs at the end of the show. And let me just tell you this, Bryan, because this is just so cool to us. We just did one in North Carolina the other night. And after the show, we were all there to meet all the fans and sign merchandise and all that. And you can't believe how personal it is with Statler Brother fans to see and feel this again, and they thought it was gone.
It's emotional for them.
It's emotional.
I mean,
they're in
really
tears.
Yeah.
The one gentleman came up and he said, "Thank y'all so much for doing this." He said, "It was like I went back in time," and he said, "Got away from all this crazy stuff going in the world right now."
And
he shook hands with
that's what we're wanting to have.
And it's like, well, yeah, like, so if we can do that, absolutely we're going to do that because we love every minute of it.
And you know, when people have seen us sing and perform, yes, we learn from the Statlers and our dads, and we've got their mannerisms and then their personalities. And people, when they finish seeing Wilson Fairchild, they're like, "Man, that was really that was cool. Y'all are doing your own thing, but you kind of sound like them. You kind of look like them." I'm processing this. This is really a cool thing y'all got going on. We're like, "Yeah, I know it is. I mean, we get it." And then the third generation with our boys, they got the same effect, you know.
And we didn't plan this.
We didn't. And this is nothing. And we see this in our shows and in our press releases and everything else. This is nothing we're trying to do. Okay. We just are. This is who we are. And we're very honored and excited to be able to carry on this legacy and that Statler name, that Statler music. We care so much about it, and we feel like we've got the blessings from those who can bless us with it, and it's a really good thing. And so I was just going to say, you know, when people would say that to me and Will, they're saying it to Jack and Davis, and then you put all 4 of us together, and now they're hearing that blood harmony, that Statler harmony. It really is an emotional, powerful thing for them, and I understand it. It's powerful for us.
But as our producers, we have record producers too.
Jerry Kennedy,
as our producer said, he said the DNA is strong.
It's loud. It's loud too.
He said it's loud and it's strong.
Yeah. It's loud and strong with you guys on the stage, and it's loud and strong with you guys off the stage, and. You know, I loved your dads and loved being able to grow up listening to that music. When I did go hear you guys sing, and I'm sorry I can't remember the town. Was it Alabama? I really don't.
It was Fitzgerald.
Georgia, I think.
Georgia, that's right.
Yeah.
When y'all did go back into the Statler songs, I went back to, 4th of July and going up to Stanton as a, 14, 15-year-old kid, watching them do their thing. And it is emotional in that way that it brings back, because your dad's and your music and your son's music, there's nothing about it that's boy, I don't know the right word to say, because I don't want to be offensive to anybody else, but it's not stupid. It's not it's got a lot of integrity, it's got a lot of class, it's just written well, done well, represented well. And so when you guys are writing your songs, you do the same thing. And then when I see Jack and Davis, they do the same thing. And so I'm so glad that you have accidentally fallen into what you're doing, because it feels like that. It's natural, obviously. It's who you are.
Yes.
Hey, it
And
feels so good.
Yeah.
The four of us talk about it. It feels really good what we're doing.
And let me tell you this, back to this organic, after all these years, organic thing that's happened with our sons. We started with a really good friend of ours, bestcountrycruises.com. She wanted us to do a cruise about 4 years ago. So we started with a handful of people, and the next year we had, a bigger handful of people. But since the boys were there, it was just me and Langdon acoustically. We didn't have a band. So then we let the boys do their set. Well, then it grew into last year. We're kind of doing it 50-50, just the four of us, 4 shows each night. But that gave us the opportunity to rehearse, some songs, 4-part harmony and that type of thing. But you'll love this. We did a night on the cruise for 2 hours with the boys with nothing but Statler Brothers requests. And we would do them on the spot. And you can't believe how many fans that bought the cruise would request album cuts from 40 years ago. That the boys know those songs. They've learned them so fast. We did nothing but request for a 4-part harmony for 2 hours.
Wow. That was so much fun. They'd say, I don't know if y'all remember this one. And we were like, okay, I can tell you what album it's on. Hold on. And then one of our boys they would like, hey, they did it in F sharp. So let's do it in F sharp. And then, then they'd start into it. And they were like, okay, I get it. I got this third line. And it was so much fun to go back and forth with the fans. And I'm ready to do that.
Oh
again.
Yeah.
So that's happening again in January.
Yeah. We booked more people this year than we ever have. And, but for now, we're going to keep it as kind of that small, intimate thing, and it's so much fun doing it with them.
So all right. So WilsonFairchild.com, Jack and Davis Reid. That's REID music. Is that
yes?
Jack and Davis Reid music, REID music, and then what's the cruise website again? If people want to.
So the cruise is bestcountrycruises.com. And you have to book it through Sandy Udi. It's her cruise company, but it's the exclusive cruise for us. It's like Royal Caribbean, but you have to buy it through her to get this 4 nights of shows with us and the boys. Yeah.
Wow, you guys got your own cruise. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the fourth year. Yeah, coming up in January. Yep. Well, listen, go out for 5 days.
I cannot thank you enough. I've had a great time. This has been a blast. I hope the listening and watching audience has had a good time. I love you guys. I love your dads.
These questions are awesome.
So hey, we love you, but we just skimmed the surface. There's so many things that I wanted to talk about. Just being with you, writing songs with you, being in your house, cold spot. I want to talk about all of it when we get the chance.
Levi.
We'll do another episode.
Peanut butter.
Scrunch.
Peter.
I forgot about Levi. Wow. Yeah. We'll do another episode where we'll get into.
I like this one word lightning round. Yeah, with Bryan.
Clove cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
But he didn't smoke.
No.
It wasn't him.
I'm just saying this is a story. If you have to, it's just
right.
Okay, write all those down. We'll reverse it. You can do the lightning round with me. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
We've got to do it again. If nothing else, we've got to tell the peanut butter story. Okay, the jar of peanut butter.
And if you ever give me your phone number and let me know where you're living, I'd like to see you again sometime.
Are you in a hotel room right now?
I am. I was just thinking back. I'll tell that story another time. But it involved with you telling me that there was a cord there, and I went, no, it's not. And then later on in life, maybe about 4 years ago, I realized it was there. And I've never told you that, Will, but I just want you to know.
There was a chord there?
A chord like in a song?
Yeah, that I wasn't playing. And anyway, I'll tell that story later.
Okay, tell that one later.
Listen,
is that the one?
We got to go.
The Merle Haggard song. Do you remember that time? You were getting ready to play. He was getting ready to play an acoustic set. And I'm sitting in the house one night, and he texted me and said, you take me for granted. What's that chord? That was all the text said. Do you remember that?
No.
And I said, yes, you texted me. You said, you take me for granted. I'm doing it tonight.
What's that chord?
And I said, "What key are you in?" And you're like, I'm in E. I'm like, it's a D7 chord.
You knew it wasn't the 1-4-5.
Do
He knew
remember
those.
that.
Right.
You knew he knew
But
those.
there is a strange chord. It's a flatted seventh there at the. You're like, what is that? And it
Yeah.
was just so
You know
funny.
what-
You take me for
what-
granted. What's
funny
chord?
about that is I was playing the chord and singing over the top of it, going, "That can't be right." So it was me.
Right. Yeah. Like, all right, if you're an E, it's a D7. But anyway,
I love you, boys.
we've got a lot of
We
Hey,
got a lot, but
we love you.
Hey, this is
Thank
going to
you so
come
much.
out probably tonight or tomorrow night. So where are you next in case people are around? Give me a couple of dates.
We
You
got
know?
some dates coming up.
We do.
So just get on your
this
website
weekend-
and check it out.
Yeah, just do that. Just do that.
Okay. All right.
We're in Virginia. We're in Georgia. We're in Texas.
Yeah.
We're on TV. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much.
Love you too.
Thank you, buddy.
See you. It's off now that we've all said goodbye. I think it disconnects you guys, so don't think I don't love you.
No, exactly. Like there's no after talk.
No.
We've talked plenty.
There's no post show here.
That's an hour 24. That's way more than I was going to give you.
Post
Good
game.
Lord. An hour is plenty. So that 24 minutes, just put that towards the next one.
I think an hour is plenty.
God, oh gosh, this is the longest podcast ever. Oh my gosh.
You want to see him go up? See, we got to tell that story.
Okay, boys.
I get a headache watching
But
it.
just the best is me doing that bird upstairs and that boy down
Was that Levi?
I think that was Levi.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Scared him to death.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, is all this post game? We're still running.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still running.
We've got-
All right.
Thank you,
I hope
boys.
it gets. Thank you, buddy. Talk to you soon.